election. DeJoy defended changes such as limiting truck routes and eliminating overtime. And he told lawmakers delivering election mail was his #1 priority. Nancy Cordes has the details.
Was a slowdown in the mail.
The new Postmaster General insisted today the current delays will not affect mail-in voting.
We will scour every plant today, each night leading up to Election Day.
So you do support voting by mail?
I do.
DeJoy is a major Trump donor who previously ran a delivery company. He says USPS is just adjusting to the delivery improvements he put in place.
A recovery process in this should have been a few days, and it's mounted to be a few weeks.
But the unexpected changes have alarmed customers and postal workers.
We do not have enough people to carry the mail.
DeJoy has agreed to halt the removal of collection boxes.
I decided to stop it, and we'll pick it up after the election.
But says he won't reinstall hundreds of mail sorting machines that were dismantled or removed.
They're not needed, sir.
You will not bring back any processors.
They're not needed, sir.
Congress heard a different take from former postal official David Williams yesterday.
You don't save money by breaking down machines and putting them in the store, and you spend money.
He said he resigned in April because he felt the agency was being politicized, with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin calling the shots.
Transfer of our duties and decision-making authority to him was illegal.
President Trump has railed against mail-in voting and is now vowing to deploy police at the polls.
We're going to have sheriffs and we're going to have law enforcement.
And Nancy Cordes joins me now from Capitol Hill. Nancy, great to see you. So DeJoy said that he has no plans to restore mailboxes or high-speed sorting machines that have already been removed in several states. Is there any chance that he will reverse course on this? And if he doesn't, what impact might that have on ballots being successfully delivered regarding the November election?
It doesn't sound like he'll change course unless he's forced to. The House is going to try to force him. They're coming back for a special session on Saturday. They'll be passing a bill that would require him to roll back all the changes that he has made this summer. But there's no sign at this point that the Senate will take up that bill as well. It's interesting. He insists that the changes that he has made, removing these sorting machines, will not, in the long run, impact productivity. He says that the machines had to be moved out to make way for more package sorting machines because package delivery is up, mail delivery is down. People aren't sending as much mail during the pandemic. But when he was asked by Democrats on this Senate committee to show them the evidence, show them the data that he used to make his decision, he wouldn't commit to handing that data over. He was asked if he could give it to them by this weekend. He point blank said no. And then when he was pushed, he said, well, he'll talk to other postal officials and see if he can provide the information. But several times he was asked for more justification for why he removed certain data machines and sorting machines rather, and he just wouldn't hand it over, which only fueled the suspicion among Democrats that that the administration is picking and choosing where to reduce capacity in a way that would potentially interfere with the election in the fall.
Well, the Postmaster General also said that delivering election mail securely was his #1 priority between now and Election Day. Nancy, did he offer any concrete plans or even details about how he plans to achieve that?
Sure. He said he's very committed to making sure that election mail is processed as quickly as possible. He said it'll be processed like first-class mail. In some cases, it'll even be given priority over first-class mail. He claimed that postal workers will be scouring all of the facilities every night to make sure that mail-in ballots are being processed, that nothing gets left behind. He did recommend that people vote early. Don't wait till the last minute if you want to make sure that your mail-in ballot is counted. But he repeatedly insisted that he himself has voted by mail, that he believes in voting by mail, and that he would never do anything to interfere with an election.
That's a really interesting point, Nancy, because DeJoy really did at points distance himself from President Trump, who appointed him, he was also a big donor to President Trump's campaign. And as you know, and our viewers know, the president has complained about mail-in voting and made false claims about voter fraud. So what did the Postmaster General say, and how significant is it really that he made this break from the president?
I think that it is significant. You know, he didn't directly criticize the president, but he did say he's never spoken to the president about this, and that he does believe in mail-in voting, that he doesn't clearly share the president's suspicions about the validity of mail-in voting. But that really wasn't enough for Democrats, who are still looking for justification for removing these hundreds of sorting machines, collection boxes, who say that he's hurting his case by refusing to provide more data to back up what he has done. And they point to postal workers from coast to coast who have expressed confusion, concern, who say that mail in some cases in some facilities is backed up by weeks. They say that it's highly unusual that a new Postmaster General, who's only been in the job for a few weeks, would show up, come up with this plan so quickly, clearly not prep postal workers around the country for what was about to happen, and then implement it in such a way that even if it was designed to create efficiencies, clearly in the short term caused some serious backlogs.
Вы получили 26 миллионов денег? 26 миллионов? Ёбарас, это да я сейчас могу нанять вон кучу героев. 222к повреждений герой. Охренеть! Слушай, здесь монстры какие-то по 7 миллионов.
Yes, definitely. And we heard from members of Congress very concerned about that issue. As you mentioned, Nancy, House Democrats are going to hold a Saturday session to vote on legislation that would give more funding to the Postal Service. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Sure. Their bill includes $25 billion for the Postal Service in the short term, basically to deal with the costs that have been incurred due to coronavirus, keep the Postal Service afloat. This is the amount of money that was requested by the Postal Service Board of Governors earlier this year, so that they didn't pull the number out of thin air. But the Postmaster General, in his hearing, said he only needs about $10 billion. Highly unusual for a Postmaster General to actually say, no, I need less money than my own Board of Governors, which has been around for quite a long time, has requested. So he's going with $10 billion. The administration has gone with $10 billion. The Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is pushing $10 billion. Democrats want 25. So they're going to pass this bill over the weekend that will include $25 billion for the Postal Service. We'll see if any House Republicans get on board. But then the question is really, A, will the Senate come back to deal with that? They're supposed to be out until mid-September on recess. And even when they do come back, will they go along with that $25 billion, or will they try to pass a bill with about $10 billion in it and then hope to continue negotiations with the House? We've seen how poorly those negotiations have gone recently over a larger coronavirus package. So the safest